It is the Madame, the Exotical Tax Collector, and in this video, we will be going over the Bitter Bitch Olympic Series in Blackistan and why I do not participate in it and why you should not participate in it as an exotical woman. I just want to shout out my brand new subscribers and my returning subscribers. I just want to thank you all for all the love and the subscribes, the likes, the shares, the comments, and even the emails you guys have been sending me. My email has been literally blowing up out of the water. So I just want to say thank you guys for keeping me on my toes. Thank you guys for, just inspiring me and sending all these different videos and all these different screenshots of things going around worldwide on the internet and in real life for all of my fellow exoticals. So a beautiful new subscriber, Exotical Eliza, has shared 3 videos with me today, and I will be going over them, all right? So we will be talking about how unambiguous Black women blame exotical women after they are dumped by unambiguous Black men or MLS men or white men or any type of man. It doesn't even matter what his skin color is at this point. Any type of man that leaves them for you, you are automatically public enemy number 1 in their eyes, like literally. And I have heard about this recently in my friend groups, but I have not seen this physically happening in years, but I can attest myself that I have personally seen this with my own eyes happen as a teenager growing up. But as a young adult now, no. And I'm in almost in my mid-20s now. And I have not seen this happen in person recently, but as a teenager, yes. I have seen, my step aunt, she's an unambiguous Black woman. And she blamed, this white woman for ruining her marriage. So pretty much my aunt's unambiguous Black African, matter of fact, he was an African man. He came from Africa, and she literally would gush over the fact that he was African, that his mom was African, that his mom was an African woman that was brown skin, was a light brown skin woman with long hair. She literally was obsessed with this woman. It was so weird to the point where when I came around this woman, she would favor me, and my aunt would get so angry. My step aunt would get so livid when she would favor me and give me sweets or buy me something special and give me gifts and give me money and give, my grandmother money for me. She would get so jealous that, her mother-in-law would cater to her niece and her mother before she would cater to her. And, pretty much, his mother would just put us first because we were lighter skinned, and his great-grandmother was a light-skinned woman, and she would overlook the fact of that. She would suck her teeth whenever his mother would talk about her own mother, and I felt like, she humbled her by, treating us better in her presence, and always putting her last, whether we were in her presence or not. But that's how my step-aunt was getting treated by her mother-in-law. But she blamed this white woman who was kind and sweet and loving. And she lived in the neighborhood. She lived in that cul-de-sac. And this is the thing. Unambiguous Black women, whether they have a Black man or a white man as their husband, when they get money, I feel like I've heard this several times said in Blackistan, when certain people get money and certain Black people get money, they get big-headed and they don't know how to act. It's that type of attitude where they start thinking that they are better than you because they finally have the things that you have naturally gained throughout your life through being an exotical woman, by getting the compliments or the attention or the money or the free gifts, or, just having a better experience overall. I feel like there are micro validations and micro gifts, like energetic gifts that people can give you, whether that's grace or whether that's giving you a smile when they pass you by, or the person who has free samples that they're supposed to be giving out to random people, on the street. They just approach you and now they want to give you half of the free samples that's in their bag. It's things like that, guys. You know what I mean? Or just allowing you to go before them and them not trying to beat you into the doorway somewhere. Like, it's little things like that, guys. But I feel like my unambiguous black aunt didn't recognize that she complained a lot, that she did not clean as well as she could have, and that she would prioritize herself before she would prioritize the household or anything that he had to say. She would overtalk him. Anything, like even at restaurants, my unambiguous black aunt would order food for him. She would tell him what he wanted, and he would just sit there and just not say anything because he felt that he was being demasculated or emasculated or whatever you call it. When a man is feeling stripped of his masculinity, whether that is mentally, spiritually, or physically. And I feel like a lot of unambiguous black women have been forced to be masculized at a young age. And that is truly sad. But at the same time, that's not my responsibility to undo that wounding. You have to take accountability that you are old enough to recognize that you have these wounds, that these wounds are affecting you in a certain way, and that you need to handle this so you can have a better quality of life. Because I feel like a lot of exotical women are more focused on their quality of life. And that's why we can use the law of assumption, the law of attraction, manifestation, thought transmission, all these different things, subliminals and subliminals, and all these different methods of getting what we want. It's easy for us to have the lucky girl syndrome. It's easy for us to have the pretty privilege. It's easy for us to have the beauty and feminine privilege. It's easy for us to get capitalism privilege. It is easy for an exotical woman to climb the ladder in life. So it's time for exotical women who have the looks to have the mindset now. It's time to put those looks into actions. It's time to have the actions and the looks and the mindset and the personality and the aura and the glow and the scent and the signature style and the lifestyle all together. It's time to have it all together. And I feel like a lot of exotical women sometimes dismiss this or try to humble this or try to dumb these things down when in the presence of unambiguous black women, because they want to be seen as their ally or they want to be seen as their friend. Guess what? I don't need to dumb myself down for you to feel good about yourself, for you to feel good about me being your friend or being in your presence. I have had many connections and many friendships and associations and many acquaintances that I've had to cut off and reject from my life entirely because these women do not understand, how I am so privileged or how I am so blessed or how I'm so favored and fortunate and lucky. Because I am highly favored and I always get what I want and everything is working out in my favor every moment of my life. And you cannot correlate that with the way I look and my personality and my carefreeness, because that is shining a mirror up to you and you don't like the way you look. You don't like the way I glow in your presence because you feel your shine is dimmed down when I step into the arena. When I could be just being myself, and now I have just stepped into an unknown arena, oblivious to the fact that you have a weapon now, whether that's your words, your actions towards me, or a poo shiesty plan to try to sabotage me or false dox me or give me a false lawsuit or all this crap. At the end of the day, as exotical women, we have to say enough is enough. And I say enough is enough for me caping for women who don't want to cape for me caping for women who would gladly discard me or gladly watch me bleed out and die in front of them or be unalived or essayed or whatever in front of them just so they could breathe and finally feel a freedom, because guess what? The pretty girl has been shut down. The pretty girl has been, knocked off her pedestal. Guess what? You can't knock down a pedestal that was not built by your hands. You did not create my pedestal, okay? You are not the maker of my self-esteem and my self-concept. No one gets to direct, narrate, and write your life story other than you. When you allow yourself to take accountability, when you allow yourself to see yourself as someone who is trustable, who is reliable, and who can trust themselves to make the next step, to make the next move. Every step of your life, you should be trusting yourself. And that's what true self-love is. Self-love shows in a variety of ways, in a magnitude of ways, in a multitude of ways. Literally. It is infinite, and it's unbending love and unbending protection. Because when I say that I love myself, it is an immortal promise that I will be fulfilled. That I will be fulfilled and that I will be happy in my life no matter what. And I feel like a lot of unambiguous black women don't get that. They don't get that memo. They didn't get that quota in the mail. They didn't get it. And I feel like these women that we're about to see in these upcoming clips, they have no true self-love for themselves. They have no self-respect. They don't even have mercy for themselves, because if you love yourself, you will have mercy for yourself, not to humiliate and embarrass yourself. It is embarrassing to come up on the fucking internet and talk about some crazy ass shit about, oh, look at me. I was the victim of colorism and texturism and featureism. I'm a colorism crybaby because this woman who has a looser hair texture and a lightened skin complexion, she stole my man. And they left me in the dust while they're in a honeymoon phase. And I hope he cheats on her, he lies her, he stresses her out to the point where he got her hair falling out, he got her skin becoming acne prone. That's what they want. That's literally how these women are. But anyway, I digress. Let the clip roll.
We cannot beat this motherfucking team for sure.
If you allow yourself to be a willing victim, you have a free one-way ticket to the bitter bitch Olympics. And I truly mean that. When you allow yourself to be a fucking victim, when you allow other people's, actions or motives or whatever someone else is doing, when you allow that to control you and you allow that to give you cognitive dissonance, disillusionment, and nervous system dysregulation, when you allow someone to fuck with your mood and fuck with your day and fuck with your life and fuck with the way that you view yourself, you are allowing someone to take your power away. And as an exotical woman, we will stand 10 toes down on our boundaries. We will have high maintenance standards, and we will have high standards when it comes to having entry into our lives. Because guess what? If these girls truly had the boundaries that equated to their true self-worth as a woman innately, no matter what the color of their skin was, they would not have allowed these men to enter their lives, to allow them to use them, abuse them, and then to leave them for these lighter skinned women. And guess what? It's not the lighter skinned woman's fault. It's not the exotical woman's fault that you got replaced. And no one can truly replace you unless you allow that. And this is the one thing I want to say. A lot of you guys are not realizing a lot of these situations that are happening in your life that you do not like. A lot of these circumstances that are unfavorable in your life are due to what you are allowing and accepting in your life. What are you allowing and accepting in your life? And truly ask yourself that. I want you to make a list of what you are allowing and accepting in your life. And when you look at that list and you look at exactly everything that's on that list and you see the main reasons why these things are happening in your life, then you are going to be able to see the common denominator, you and your thoughts and your mindset and your mentality. It is the rhetoric, it is the mantra that you keep repeating to yourself day in and day out that matters. Your thoughts shape your reality. So it's time for all of us as Exoticals to get on board and to finally accept our privileges as the unambiguous black women wanted us to do. They wanted us to accept our privileges. So are we still supposed to accept our privileges even in this situation? Or is there a hypocritical, contradictory rule of thumb that you can make at a drop of a dime or at the drop of a hat when it seems convenient to you? Because I see a lot of hypocrisy go on when situations happen like this. And I feel like a lot of these women are mean-spirited and are evil-spirited. And these boys or these men, they see that and they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with the wounded inner child and the daddy issues and the mommy issues and the lack of self-love and the lack of self-accountability and the lack of self-trust and the dysregulated nervous system and the disillusioned reality that you're living in. Like, you've got to truly tap into who you truly are to have that shine, to have that glow that's irreplaceable. Because one thing I can say, exotical women are irreplaceable. Black women have accepted the fact that they are replaceable and the fact that they are less than other women. And that is the reason why they have experienced the experiences that they have experienced. Because they allow that shit. When you keep allowing this shit, it's going to continuously happen. No matter what. Y'all keep doing the same shit and expecting a different outcome. That's insanity. That is literally insanity. It is not my responsibility as a light-skinned woman to sit up here and not accept a date from a man, regardless of his color, because you like him. Guess what? At the end of the day, you shouldn't have based your self-esteem and self-concept on whether this man was going to accept you or not. Like, that is so stupid to me. Like, I'm so sorry, guys, but I just think this is so fucking idiotic to me because I personally do not center a man's opinion about me, my looks, or the way that I act, or the way I am as an individual in this world on my self-esteem, my self-confidence, and my self-concept. I'm not going to base that on that because that's going to be fragile. You got a fragile ego and a fragile self-concept, baby, and a lack of self-love. Guess what? The lack of self-accountability stems from the lack of self-trust and the lack of self-love. When you don't trust yourself and you don't love yourself, how can you depend on yourself to make the right decisions? How can you depend on yourself to get to the places you want to be without self-sabotaging yourself at every fucking turn? When it seems convenient to you because, oh my God, it's not working out for me right now. But guess what? You got to have some fucking perseverance and some resilience to get to the places you want to be. And I feel like a lot of these unambiguous black women, they don't got the fire in their fucking belly. They got the fire in their fucking belly to talk shit and to sit up here and whine and fucking complain about texturism and featureism and oh my God, you're a little lighter than me and you've got privileges here and there and there and oh, I'm jealous of you, so I'm going to self-sabotage you, I'm going to act like your friend and then I'm going to expose you. Like all these women like Cleotrapa and Baby Storm trying to expose Ice Spice, like all of you women are stupid. You look dumb as fuck. You look like a bunch of fools. You look like Boo Boo the Fool sitting up there trying to take down someone else's empire. You should have been over there creating your own empire in the fucking background. Stop allowing this fucking jealousy to fucking give you paralysis analysis and fucking be something for fucking once. I'm so tired of women complaining about colorism and featureism and texturism and, oh my God, this guy left me for this light-skinned woman. I don't give a fuck. I don't have any sympathy for you women who do this because you guys don't love yourselves enough to recognize you are worthy with or without that man in your life. If someone is not treating you like an investment and an asset, they gotta go. And this is the reason why I say you got to cherry pick your lovers. You got to cherry pick your friends. You got to cherry pick family members. You got to cherry pick everything in your life. Because if you don't, it's just going to keep crashing and burning and crashing and burning and crashing and burning. When you do not supply yourself with exactly the requirements that you need, all right? Because everybody has an acquired taste. So when you are not fulfilling the requirements of your acquired tastes of life to satisfy yourself, of course you're going to be evil, bitter, and angry and walking around with a chip on your shoulder like everybody has just pissed in your cereal this morning. When in reality, you don't love yourself. And you're not even allowing yourself to love yourself. You're not even allowing yourself to witness your grace, your divinity. But instead, you want to complain about an exotical woman's divinity personified and actualized because she wanted to self-actualize herself. She wanted to level up herself. She wanted to make sure that she got the clout that she needed to get to the places that she wanted to go. But instead, I see a lot of unambiguous black women and a lot of light-skinned saviors on this platform looking like a bunch of fools coming after exotical women. And it's like, do you guys literally see how dysregulated your nervous systems are? Like, who would want to be around you? Who would want to swap lives with you? Like, truly. But anyway, I digress, guys. I love you guys. It's the Madam, the Exotical Tax Collector, and that's the video for today. And I just want to say thank you to my new subscribers and my returning subscribers. I love you guys so much. Continue to binge watch my content. I got more and more content coming for you guys. And life behind the scenes for the Madam has been lovely, and I just want to say that I am so grateful for my life, and I'm so grateful to be alive, and I am so grateful for all my subscribers, and I hope that all of you are thriving behind the scenes and that you guys are taking full advantage and fully utilizing your privileges and all the isms that you benefit to your fullest benefit at that. And I love you, my exotical goddesses and kings. Ciao.